Emma woke up hearing a sound come from outside. She slipped out of her bed and walked through the thin opening that led out of the only room in the house. Emma's mother was standing near the front door, waving goodbye to her brother Mark.
Emma walked over to her mother and asked, "Why can't I go to school too?" "You can't. You have to help me make food at home." "I can't do it on my own. The work is too hard for me," answered her mother. "Then why does Mark get to go to school?" "Because he's a boy."
Emma clenched her fists, grabbing the bucket, and said, "I'm going to get water. I'll be back in an hour." She walked down the dusty road to the only water source in the village. Emma reached the water pump and started filling the bucket. Then she cupped her hands to drink the water. As she walked back, thoughts were running through her mind.
Why can't girls go to school, she thought. She finally realized why all the people who stayed at home were actually girls and none were boys. She furiously walked home. She wanted to go to school. She wanted to learn. When Emma got home, she gave her mother the bucket and she soaked the clothes and hung them outside on the thin piece of string that went from the roof to the tree.
Emma went to the back of the house where the food was growing. She dug her nails in the soil and pulled out the potatoes. She brought them inside to chop them. While she was chopping the potatoes placed on the table, she thought what her mother said in the morning. What could she do to stop this from happening to the others in the village? She thought and thought until finally she came to an answer.
She stopped what she was doing and ran to her neighbor's house. The door opened and Martha answered. "Hey, Martha," Emma said. "I have a great idea."
Martha opened the door and asked, "What is it?" Emma replied, "Do you want to go to school?" Martha said, "Yes." Emma now started to share her idea. "We could pretend to be boys." Martha right away answered, "What?"
So then they dressed up as boys. Emma and Martha rolled their hair up and hid it under the school's hats that the boys need to wear at school. Martha has an older brother who had already graduated from school. The girls sneakily took his old uniforms and wore them.
They went to school and learned many things. One day, while they were studying, the teacher noticed something strange with them. Immediately, she hinted that they were not boys. The teacher furiously said, "You can't come to this school. Go home in this instant." Emma was started. Every day she tries to think of ways to attend school. Then one day, on her way back to the house after fetching water from the river, an abandoned old hut caught her attention. A brilliant idea came to mind. She went to Martha and said, "Let's make our own school." They then tell the other girls of their plan and convince them to join them, turning the hut into their secret nest of learning. Every day, the girls secretly meet in the small hut to learn together. They learn from each other using resources that they have gathered from home.
It wasn't long that the men of the village heard of what had been happening in the small hut. The men were infuriated that for some time they were outsmarted by these girls. It reached the knowledge of the chieftain and gave the girls a stern warning. He said, "If you ever started a school again, you will be banished from the village."
The men demolished the hut in front of the many villagers. The girls were teary-eyed and devastated, for all their dreams when dark hit the hut.
Emma had an idea. "I need to go to Martha and tell her about it." Emma knocked on her door and went in. Martha was really excited as Emma shared her idea. "Let's go ask my mom first," said Martha. "We will ask every woman in the village what would they need." They go home knowing most men want water. Suddenly the doorbell rings. It was a teacher from the boys' school.
I heard about what you tried to do, so I want to help you to get help. There's an organization that helps girls to have rights too. Great idea, Martha says.
After a few weeks, the people from the organization came to the village. Everyone agreed that girls deserved education too.
With the help of the Malala Foundation, they were able to make a complete water system for the village and let girls go to school.
Emma and Marina as they had always dreamed about.
All kids should be able to do so, and we will try to make that true for everyone.